Oh,
Hello, hello.
helps if I take my cover off. Okay. All right.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
We're gonna, it's 2:28, 2:29. We'll see. Yeah. So we have two. I do know Dr. Kari is there too. It's just that her video is closed, so we have two. So what is the chapter you represent? Is it Dr. Vibes?
Vivas,
Vivas.
Georgia Southern University.
Georgia Southern. Okay. All right. I think we have already.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good
Good
afternoon. So I'm just trying to see if we can get 2 or 3 more. Right now I have 3 chapters representing. And I know time is short. We have just given about 45 minutes to this presentation, so you can go back to what you're doing. But we really appreciate you joining, taking time and joining us. So yeah, it's at 2:30. I guess we can start. So thank you for joining. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. This is our second chapter chat. We revived it in July. We felt like a chapter officers definitely needs every now and then a refresher or just to know, because some of you are new, some of officers, they continue, but things change. So just so that we can keep you in the loop and also let you know that we are here to help you. So I'm Jasmine Shah, Director. I oversee Membership and Chapter Services Department as well as Finance and Administration. Joining me today for this presentation would be Mike Pavlot, our Senior Manager of IT, as well as Stasia Joyner, from whom you have been receiving quite a few of emails. She's our Chapter Services Coordinator. So Stasia, you want to say hello, and I'll let Mike say a few words too.
Yeah, so Jasmine said, my name is Stasia. I am the Chapter Services Coordinator. Now you see my name pop up here and there. I'm sending a lot of emails. Thank you to everyone that has already submitted the annual report and treasurer's report. That's something that we'll be discussing a little bit here. But just a point of contact. So any questions that you have with your chapter or anything, just reach out to me and I'm just happy to help.
Great. And I am Mike Pavlot. As Jasmine mentioned, I am the Senior Manager of IT for Sigma Xi. I've been with the society now for quite a few years, I would say. So I handle all the back-end IT software, obviously things related to the website, your annual reports, and all the various connections to our database and your memberships. And today I will be showing you a little piece on the communities portal as well. So welcome and thank you for joining.
So without further ado, I do know we have about 7 chapters representing us. So I will, as you can see, the agenda is right in front of you, online community portal. This is how we're going to show, Mike is going to show. how each chapter can connect with their members, whether they're active and inactive. So we'll go over the process. And then we're going to cover the chapter health, which is more like a good standing, how you can get funding from the headquarters. And then at the end, it'll be closed by Stasia, talking a little bit more about chapter reports. So Mike, take it away.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
I'll stop sharing.
Okay, so hopefully you all can see my screen, which is just a picture of the Sigma Xi website. Can you all see that?
No.
Mm,
Yeah.
Now we can.
Sweet.
Got it. All right. Great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just switch over here. There we go. Hopefully it's still visible. Okay, so today I'm going to speak to you a little bit about a tool that I think will be very helpful for you, primarily in communicating with the members of your chapter, and that is the Sigma Xi Online Communities Portal. This is a portal that we've actually had as a tool for the chapter officers. It's probably close to about 10 years now that we've had this. It's hosted through a company called Higher Logic. Many of you probably see an email every day if you're still subscribed to the Lab Digest. You may be familiar with that. So that portal that hosts the Lab Digest also hosts the communities for each of your chapters. So if you see here on the Sigma Xi home screen, you see that I am logged in here. And the way to access the communities portal from the Sigma Xi homepage is just here on the communities link. So I'm going to click that over here. And you'll see that when I do that, it takes us over to the communities portal, which has the dedicated address of community.sigmaxi.org. So if you want to get there directly, that is the address to get there directly. So once you are logged in and on the communities portal, you'll want to go to the communities dropdown and you'll choose My Communities. This will show you all of the different communities that you're already a part of. And for most of you, that will be probably 5 or 6 communities already. By the virtue of the fact that you are chapter officers, you will be in the chapter leaders community. By virtue of the fact that you're an active member of Sigma Xi, you'll be in the lab. And then, of course, you'll be in your chapter community as well. You'll see down here, I've created 2 test chapter communities. And what you'll notice is that for your chapter, you will have actually 2 communities. One will be for the active members of your chapter, which will just be your chapter name. So if you were the Duke University officer, this would just say Duke University. And down here, you have an inactive member version, which is just be your community name - inactive members. So when you click on one of these links here, you'll see for the active chapter community, you'll see that you've got some options here. For the purposes of today's discussion, the most important piece that we want to cover today is the discussion tab. And this is the vehicle by which you will be able to easily communicate with all of the different members that are affiliated with your chapter. So see here at the top, you will see that automatically you have the name of your chapter displayed here. You've got some tabs across. If you just scroll down from the main page to below this information, you will see listed all of your members, and listed at the front, very front, are the community admins. So you'll see that I'm the admin for this chapter here, and you can see that we have a couple of folks on staff that are part of this community as well. So if you want to reach out to the members of your chapter, in this case, the active members, because we're in the active member community, you would click on the discussion tab here. And you'll see we've got some test posts in here. And it's really pretty basic and straightforward. You would click on post a new message. And here you could type a message, right? Whatever you want to say. You'll notice at the top here that it tells you which community you're posting to. You can also cross post, which means you can also post to an additional community if you desire. So in this instance, if you wanted to send out a message to your active community and the community of your lapsed members of the chapter as well, you could pick, in this instance, the chapter that says inactive members at the end. So in this case, this would go out to the active member community for your chapter, as well as the inactive member community for your chapter, right? So for this one, I'll just pick no additional threads. You can just type in whatever subject you'd like. You'll see down here, you can preview what your signature will be, right? This is pulled in from Higher Logic. So in my case, it's got my name and my title and my organization. You can click on this edit your signature here, right? You can choose to change this. You can choose to automatically pull in your first or last name, or you could wipe it all out and just type in whatever you wanted. It's really up to you. And once you have your message crafted, you would just simply hit post down here at the bottom. So once you hit post, you'll see here, this is a few seconds ago, you'll see that in the discussion tab, I have a post here, this welcome post, and it says currently in moderation. So the thing to know, one of the key features of the community portal is that all the chapter communities are set to full moderation. What that means is that no one, including yourselves as chapter officers, no one can make a post unless that post is moderated or approved. Who are the approvers? Well, the approvers are you guys as chapter officers. So the communities are automatically set up such that if you are an officer of your chapter, you're automatically an admin of your community. It happens automatically. You don't have to do anything. So in this case, if you're posting a message online, it says currently in moderation, it means it's not been sent out yet. You would click on the post, and then here you have approve or reject, right? So of course, it's your own post. You're going to click approve. And then at this point in time, that message will now be sent out to the community. So you've got that message here. Of course, the members of your community will receive it based on a couple of factors. Of course, they have to have an email address on their account, of course. And they can also choose to receive their emails in different ways. They can receive their emails in real time. They can receive them through a daily digest, which is kind of how the lab comes to you every day, which is one gigantic listing of all the posts for the day. And there are folks who can also opt out to receive no emails. They can choose to opt out to receiving these notifications. So just be aware that when you make a post, some people will have different settings, and that will affect who sees your message and when. So that's basically how you approve a post and how you moderate it. I want to also kind of slip over here. I did mention a second ago that you have two communities. So just like your active member community, you have a community that just has inactive members at the end. Again, similar situation. You can post, all of the rules of posting and approving are the same. If you're a chapter officer, you're automatically an admin of your active member community. You're also automatically a member of your inactive member community. That happens automatically behind the scenes. So that's already taken care of for you. One of the things I wanted to point out is that in addition to making posts online in this portal, you can also bypass the portal altogether, and you can make posts to your community strictly through email if you so choose. Each one of these communities that we have, so each one of your communities will have a unique email address, and you can make posts to the community strictly through your preferred email platform, if that's your preference. And I'll show you what that looks like right here, right now. So let's say that I wanted to reach out to the active members of my community. You'll see I'm going to create a new message here. And each one of your chapters has a dedicated email address, each one of your communities, I should say. Each email address will begin with Sigma Xi, and then a dash, and then some sort of identifier for your chapter. For this chapter, it's just a Z, and they're always at connectedcommunity.org. We will supply these to you, so you will have those dedicated email addresses. And I can just put in here, welcome number 2. And by the virtue of the fact that I'm sending this to this dedicated email address, right? And it also has to come from the email address that you have on file with Sigma Xi. So if you have your university address on file, you must send this message from your university address. So the the email address has to match with what we have on file for you. And then you click send. And this mimics the exact process that I showed just a minute ago. It's the same thing as posting online, only you can do the whole process from within your email if you don't want to log in and go to, perform those extra steps. So let me show you what it looks like for you guys as admins. So I mentioned earlier, when you make a post, you will have to approve all posts before they are sent out, even your own posts. So you'll see here's an example of a post notification email. So I just made that post. So I'll come into here and it will say, you have a post. That's not what I want. That's let's go to this one. There we go. So in the Z Sigma Xi test chapter, we have a post that says welcome here. So what you'll do is, whether it's a post that you made or a post that someone else will made, you will click on the discussion link and it brings you straight into items that are pending. And what you can do is you can click on the message, right? So you can view what the message says. Welcome, 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 sincerely me. And if you like what the message says, you simply click on approve. And it's that easy. Again, this is a way of making the post strictly through email. You can do it all through your email client. When the posts are approved, once they're approved, let me get back to my active member community. Once they're approved, they will be sent out to everyone on the list. And you also will see the post approve. You see the approved post here. You'll see 14 seconds ago, I approved this post. So when you see currently in moderation, that post is only viewable to you as the administrator, as the officer of the community. So anything that does not say currently in moderation is something that's already been approved. And that's how you make the post to your communities. A couple of important things to know. Everyone that's listed as a member in your community is already dynamically linked to Sigma Xi's membership database. So if you give us new member initiates, right, and we enter those into the system, the minute that they're entered into the system in Sigma Xi's database, they will appear in the active member community. If somebody renews their membership, let's say they're on the inactive member community because they've lapsed on their membership dues, the minute that they renew their dues and that payment is processed, that person will automatically be removed from the lapsed community and put into the active community. And it sort of all happens. The integration is seamless and it all happens behind the scenes. Same thing happens when you're filling out your annual reports. I know Stacey will go over this in a bit more detail. But when you come to My Sigma Xi and you fill out your annual report, you'll see that section 3 down here allows you to declare officers for the current year. When you make those officer designations, the minute you submit your report, those people that you made officers will immediately become admins of the community, again, because they are officers. And again, it happens in real time and it happens automatically. So anyone who's an officer of your community can approve a post. And when a post is made that needs approval, all of the officers will receive an email saying, hey, there's a post to approve. So sometimes you may get an approval post and you might click on it and it might say there's nothing here to approve. That just means that one of the other officers has gotten to it before you and has approved it. So that's the basic. That's a real quick sort of down and dirty on the Sigma Xi Communities portal, kind of how it works. And I'm over by a couple of minutes, but I'm happy to answer any questions about this portal if you have any at this time. Already. No questions? I will.
I've got one question.
Yes.
I haven't used the discussion portal in a while.
Mhm.
And the last time I tried to find it, I couldn't find it. But I'm wondering, is there a way to make it so no messages need approval?
We can do that. There is a setting on the community, and if you so desire to have your community require no approval, we can set that on a community by community basis. You just have to let us know, and we can make that change for you.
So that's something the headquarters has to do.
That's correct.
Okay.
I have a question too. This is Sangeeta.
Yes.
So I look like I represent the Central Arkansas chapter. I don't see anything in the link. So do you think that is set up by you, or the officers will set up any link or any populate anything?
Are you meaning under here when you go to my communities, you don't see your chapter listed?
No, I see my chapter listed, but in some of the chapters they have their like properly things are there, but in our chapter I don't see any kind of thing. So I don't know. I joined last year only. I took over the role, so I don't know whether we need to keep updated or how it works basically.
Well, basically, once we make your community live, it's live in perpetuity. So what I can do is offline, I can take a look. What is the chapter that you're the officer for?
Central Arkansas.
Great. I will take a look at that for you, and
Uh-huh.
I will let you know on that one. I'll take a look and I'll respond to you by email on that one.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure. Any other questions?
Mike, I do have a suggestion before I take over. Could you also show them when they are responding to a question asked through this discussion post, how they respond? Is it reply to all, will go to everybody, whether they like it or not? And it's a reply to the sender. When would can you show that?
Sure, absolutely. So here's an example of a post that I made earlier that has gone out. And this would be an example of a post that went out to your community. And as Jasmine pointed out, you have some options here. Basically, you can click reply to sender, which as it implies goes directly and only to the sender of the message, or you can click reply to group. The thing to know here, though, is that if you want to reply to the group, you can click here and you can respond just via email. You can type in an email message, you can respond. However, if you do click reply to sender, it will send you to the online portal and you will respond to the sender through this mechanism here. It's a slight difference, just so you're aware of that. But basically, the two options here, reply to group and reply to sender, are in each post that is sent out to each person. And also, I should point out here that these links down here at the bottom are pretty useful here as well. You can unsubscribe if you don't want to receive posts from the community, or what I think is more useful is you can go to subscription preferences. And in here, when you scroll down to the bottom, you can see all of the communities that you are a part of, and you can set how you'd like to get notified on each individual community. So in this case, I have some set to no emails. The options are real time, which means one post equals one email. Daily digest comes once a day, or no email. We also have options out here, consolidated daily digest. What this means is you'll receive, let's say you belong to two communities and you're set to daily digest for both. You'll get just one digest. It's basically one digest of everything. And you can also choose to get one digest, but only sent weekly. That's what these two options here are for. So those are some of the features that you have in the post that goes out to each user or each member of your community. Any other questions?
Hearing none, and Mike is always going to be available for any other questions you have post this call. And whenever you want to use your community, he's your direct support person. He will be able to answer any questions you may have. And of course, you can reach out to chapters at Sigma Xi as well. We will forward your question to Mike for him to respond, but he is your person to go to for the online community platform. With that, I think, Mike, I can take over and go to the next one. Stacia, if you want to share that document one more time, and I'm going to take it over. I'm going to talk about local support, the funding, and the chapter's good health. What is chapter health, which to us internally, it's good standing. You probably receive a lot of emails from us saying your chapter is not in good standing. Why is it not good standing? There are reasons. So it's pretty simple. Every year, just so that we can keep up, we require that every chapter must complete the following, either annually or once in their lifetime. Chapter bylaws are something that you submit once and then forget about it. We have it on file. That again is strictly, we don't do anything with it. It gives you the process, how your chapter works. Should you leave and there's no succession document, this is one of the first document we send to the new officers when they don't find anything at all on that chapter. This pretty much tells them how the chapter was run, what was the governance makeup. So that's very important. If you were to amend it, we request that we send one, the amended copy, so we have the latest chapter bylaws on file. The second thing is submit chapter annual report annually. This is for the year that completed. Sigma Xi follows the fiscal year base, so it starts July 1, ends on June 30. Our fiscal year just ended, that was fiscal 25 on June 30, 2025. So we're asking you to submit that report for what you did at that time. Stacia is going to touch base on the details, but that's what is required every year. And you also need to submit at the same time the new officers or confirm the existing officers. You may have the same officers getting on, just confirm it on the annual report. Submit the treasurer's report. Treasurer's report again is for succession plan for us to keep it as a record. We do nothing with it. We don't care about what amount you have in the bank balance. Sigma Xi is not going to touch it. Or if you have a large endowment, we're not going to touch it. You do whatever with it. It's just the record purposes. Should a new officer come on, take office, we'll be able to submit that, give this report, the last one that was submitted. So that is the basis for them to start and know exactly who they banked with, who were the signatories, who were the old officers, things like that. So it has that key information. The fifth portion is to initiate at least 3 new members in 2 years. We're not asking much. You just have to initiate 3 new members in 2 years, and then send a delegate as a chapter representative to the annual meeting, which now we call it I4, which is International Forum on Research Excellence. Where Thursday is a private meeting day, and then Friday, Saturday is the business or the science meeting is what we call, and that's only once in 3 years. Once you do this 3, next slide, okay. In order for you to be in good standing, you have to follow that. What happens if you follow that and your chapter is in good standing? Well, you get money from us. That is the reason why you want to do this every year. If your chapter is in good standing, then we do provide you funding so that your chapter can run successfully. You have operating cost. You can use that money for that. For the last 3, since I believe 2024, local support is now given not only for the regular members that are active with your chapter, affiliated with your chapter, but also for every student members that renew their membership, you get $5 from their dues. Transitional postdoc, if they are affiliated with you, we give $3 back. And then if you happen to have an affiliate with our Friends of the Society, we give you $3. And the explorers are more students from K through 12. We give you $5 back. So every year, this is given 3 times a year, provided your chapter is in good health or in good standing. We pay in 3 installments, September 30th, January 31st, and the last one is in June, at the end of June. And there's a formula we use. So I just wanted to kind of give you just a little brief summary of what we do. Because not all our chapters are large chapters. We have small chapters, large chapters. So if we were to do by the number of chapters of members affiliated with a chapter, some of them will get thousands and some of them will get nothing. In order to be uniformly, to kind of give them some money, we split the local support payment into uniform increment calculation to uniform increment, which is based on the total number of active members at certain day times divided by number of chapters. That's it. And there's an amount that is given. 1/4 of that is paid as a uniform increment. Everybody gets the same. And the per capita is number of members affiliated with your chapter. Before it was only regular members, which is full dues paying members. Now it is students also, and also the transitional and postdoc. all the more reason why the chapter should and must recruit new members so that you can get money back based on your student membership. Most chapters, we know for a fact, they have student members that they recruit or induct. You get about $5 back for the year if they were to renew. In addition to the local support that we give you, we also provide local dues service, which is more like a chapter dues service. So currently we have more than 100 chapters almost that are saying collect, in addition to the membership dues of $135, collect $2 for our chapter. We put it on our dues notice, and that money is not for us to keep. So you have 10 members paying $2, we give it back to you. But we don't give it back to you every month or every time we collect. We do it in line with when we give out the local support. So it's like one check going to your chapter. If your chapter is not in good standing, but we still receive the local dues, believe it, we will give it back to you because it doesn't belong to us. We have to give it to you. So you will get the local dues, and they range from $1 all the way to $25. And members, if a chapter is very active, having meetings of their members, the members are prone to give to the chapter because they're doing good things. They're holding a banquet, they're having meet and greet, or they have science cafe, or they have student research conference, even at the chapter level, and they're giving out awards. Members like that. When they see that, they want to get involved. And when the chapter does that, they will be giving the chapter dues because they feel like it's worth it. So that's what it is. So in a snapshot, I'm just going to cover local support, which happens to be the first payment will go out on September 30th. And the reason we are saying this is because we want, if you have not submitted your local annual reports, please do so. We do know if you need a new member and that you are shy of one member. Instead of 3, you only have 2. Stacia will send out a notice to you to say, please induct because you will get the money, otherwise you won't. If you need a delegate to go to their meeting, Stacia will let you know we need a delegate. Just put it in the annual report. We will reach out to the delegate for them to register, and you will receive the money. So those are the little things that we ask you to do. I know in your busy schedule is too much, but we are here to help you. So all we need you to do is like 10%, which is at this time of the year, submit your chapter report and treasurer report. And that is it, and we'll do the rest. With that, I think if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. If not, you can always contact me offline, chapters@sigmazai.org. But I know it's already 3 o'clock, so I would rather this time goes to Stacia, who will then explain the chapter reports. Thank you.
Looks like Prashant does have a question, Jasmine.
Okay. Oh, yes, of course. My direct email is jshaw@sigmazai.org. It is in the chat, so you can send it to me directly. And even if Stacia receives it as chapters@sigmazai.org, she will forward it to me. So, yep, we are a small team, but we work together. So either or, it'll come to me. Any questions for Mike, send it to us. We'll forward it to him too. So, yeah.
Okay. So I was just checking whether Mike's email we cannot get. So we need to send email. Okay. I see
Yeah.
that.
Yes, mpavlat@sigmazai.org.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also,
I've
can we
added mine
get
to this. I've added mine to the
thank
chat
you.
as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Can we get this deck,
Yes.
Jasmine? After?
Yes,
Okay.
you will be getting, we are posting it on our website. We also have recorded this session, which I should have told you up front when I started this is, yeah, we're recording. So if you needed it to be shared with your other officers, and we will let all our chapter leaders know that those that couldn't make it, they can certainly listen to that and view it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jasmine. So I am going to cover the annual and treasurer's reports. Again, if you've already completed this, thank you so much for go ahead and get that finished. We do get all the confirmation emails as you should too whenever you do submit the annual report. We are asking that you get it done by August the 31st coming up, so that you're able to get that local support at the end of September. So just kind of run through really quickly the steps of submitting the reports. It's really a 5-step process. So first, and then also I'm going to go through the steps, but then I'm going to show you actually how to do it. If you're like me, a visual learner, then it might make a little bit more sense. So first, you just log onto your SigmaZai portal, and then you'll access it from your My SigmaZai portal. You'll click on that, and then it'll take you to where the reports are. The second step, you just review everything that's necessary, so that you know if you need to get in contact with other officers to get information that you may or may not have. And then once you have everything, you're just preparing all the information. So all your chapter officers, if you have had any events, if your chapter has held any events, if you are appointing a delegate, any bank information, all these information, have that before you submit the report, so that all you have to do is just get information, fill it in, and submit. Step 4, fill out the reports. And then step 5, just save and submit. It's literally that simple. And also I'd like to add that even a few of the information on the reports are already pre-filled. So those are things that you wouldn't even have to do. So I'm going to go in here and then just walk you all through it. So again, this is on the main page, sigmazai.org. Here at the top, I'm already logged in, but this is where you will log in. So once you're logged in and you see your name, you're going to click on My SigmaZai. And then this is what you should see. So you won't see this on the side. It's because I'm staff, but you will see under self-service, annual report, and treasurer's report. So a couple things to note: that once you have submitted the report, if you have, then this will no longer say annual report. This will say download annual report. That is how you know that you have already submitted the report. If you have not, then it will say annual report, and then you will click here. And this is what it looks like. So, as I mentioned, a few things are already pre-filled. This information here at the top, this is showing you from fiscal year 2024, fiscal year 2025, that's already finished. This good standing, because this is also for fiscal year 2025. That's already pre-filled. So this is where you would fill in the information. So the chapter officers, this is here because this is a chapter officer that is already in the system. If there are any changes, or even if you are just confirming, then this is where you put in the president, vice president, all of your chapter officers. You'll put these here. So a couple things to note: that sometimes you may have, if you have tried to submit, you may or may not notice that there may be an officer name that is not in this list. So it could be for a couple of reasons. It could be that the officer is not is a lapsed member. So they may be an officer, but they have not renewed their membership. If that's the case, then once they renew their membership, then they will automatically be filled into the drop-down list. Or it could be they just renewed and we just have to sync their account. Either way, just send us an email, as you may have done, and then we'll just sync the account, just try it again, and the name will automatically pop up. That's really simple here. And also, the only thing, some chapters may not have a secretary or may not have an admin assistant. The only officer role that is required in order to submit this is the contact officer. So if you are the contact officer, but you are not the president, your chapter does not have a president, but you're running everything right now, you're just the contact officer, you just put in information right here and you're still able to submit. And then this can always be edited and manually entered on the back end. If the chapter does elect the president and other roles, just let us know, and then we will manually add the other officer roles on our end. The delegate. This is where you would put the delegate, as Jasmine was mentioning. If there's delegate, you would just put the information, their name right here, and then we would reach out to them so that they may register. Delegates are only required once every 3 years. So for example, this right here, if you attended last year, then you would not need to attend, let's see, 24, 25, 26 until 2027. So in that case, then you would just select no delegate will be sent, and that's it. If you are appointing a delegate, then of course you would just select their name right here. Again, if there's any issue, the name not populating, just let us know and then we will sync their account. These are other information that you would need to put here. Any new officers, carefully read through these and just simply yes or no. Chapter activities. Oh, excuse me. The chapter award. If your chapter would like to be nominated for any of your awards, you would select yes or no right here, and then add activity is where you can list all of the activities that your chapter has done throughout the year. So again, pretty straightforward. Whatever the activity was, the name, the date that you had it. Let's just see so I can get a bit more in here. Okay, so the name of the activity, the date that you had it, as you see whether the activity was created or organized by the chapter, sponsor, co-sponsor, you would select that here. The head count, participants, everything is really straightforward, and then you would just click save this activity, and then it will automatically populate onto the annual report. Extremely simple, very, very simple. We try to keep it for you all. And then after that, you can have the option to save your progress. Let's say that you started the annual report, but you realize you don't have all the information. That is okay. You just save your progress, get what you need, and then once you log back in, click on annual report, complete it, and then submit this report. Once it is submitted, then you will automatically get a confirmation that it has been submitted, as will chapters will get a confirmation that your report has been submitted. And that is that. So now the same exact process with the treasurer's report. So the treasurer's report, the key note with this is that it will not, once you submit the treasurer's report, it won't automatically change to download treasurer's report. With the treasurer's report, this is able to be edited and resubmitted if there's any changes or anything like that. This will always say treasurer's report. So you can click on it. For one time to submit any changes, you can go back and edit and resubmit, and then the updated version will take place automatically. So as we go into the treasurer's report, certain things are pre-filled, your name, chapter ID, whoever is submitting, and this is where we get into the information that you would complete. So 9 times out of 10, it would be a non-for-profit entity, unless you happen to have a tax ID number. If not, then that is okay. You do not have to fill in that part. And then this part for bank information, if your chapter has a bank account and you know the information, then you can fill in that information right here. And then also, again, the names of those who do have the bank account, again, whether that be the treasurer or the president, they would be listed right here. That is important because as you go to the bank, these people would have to be listed here in order to do any interactions with the bank account. Once that part is complete, we're going to go down here. And again, it is to note that this is everything that happened from July 1st, 2024 until June 30, 2025 of this year. So for the previous fiscal year. So again, you would get your bank statements and then fill all of this out. So how much there is in the bank, assets, investments, deposits. In order to get this balance at the beginning of the fiscal year, you can get the bank statement. Oh, Jasmine might have to help me out with this one. You would
From
get
June, bank
go ahead.
statement from the June 30, 2024.
Yes, you get the bank statement from June 2024. And then whatever is the ending balance of that would be the beginning balance for fiscal year 2025. So that's what you would put
Correct.
right there. If there was any receipts, as you see right here, this is already pre-filled, the local support. That is what we give you. That's already in there. If you receive any other gifts or endowment income, anything else, you would fill in those right there. Any expenses that you have, whether you traveled, registration fees, any of these things, you would include that right here. Any extra comments that you would like for us to know, you would add that there and then simply submit. As again, this does not change to treasurer's report automatically, but it can be downloaded. If you would like, just send us an email. You can download the report and send that to you. That is how you submit the report. Extremely simple. and just the key points that I would like for y'all to know. So, again, the reports that cover the previous fiscal year. So we're just trying to figure out how your chapter did for the fiscal year beforehand. This is an easy way to think about it. Again, as I mentioned, the treasurer's report, send us an email for a copy of that. The annual report is automatically downloadable after you submit. And again, only the contact officer is required. Again, any changes needed to the treasurer's report, you can edit that and resubmit that as many times, and the updated version will automatically be the latest version that is able to be downloaded. And then any additions or edits to the annual report, just send us an email, and then we will open that portal back up for you, open the submission back up for you, and you can edit that way. Access to report links, only chapter officers can review the links. So if the individual is not in our system as a chapter officer, then they will not see those links. But if there is someone that you would like, just let us know. We'll add them as an officer, and then they'll gain that access. Also something else. So those links are accessible for 1 year. So let's say that you are a chapter officer, but you don't renew your membership for a year, or you're not an officer for a year, but hey, I want to get the chapter back up and running. How do I do that? Well, you have a year grace period to do that. So it will still show in there after a year for you to complete and then get everything back up. After a year, then we would need to manually add you back in, which again is no problem at all. And we do try to keep it like I keep explaining, we're trying to make everything simple for y'all because we know how busy you all are. And this is a voluntary position, and we thank you all for just taking the time to make sure that the chapter is good and Sigma Psi is good. Really appreciate you. So we want to make sure that we keep things simple. And that, let's see, any key points? Yeah, those are all the key points regarding the reports. Does anyone have any questions about that?
So I just want to add one thing, Stacia, that was great. Thank you very much for going into detail on this. Sometimes some of our chapters do have their administrative assistant that work for them in the department do this on their behalf. And so they have they've made requests to us saying, can they be added as admin support? We do add them. The only thing is you just tell us and they'll be able to submit the report on your behalf, provided you give everything. There are many large chapters who just big departments, they are very busy and they do it. And the other thing I also wanted to know is this would be a good time for you to use your students to be in this leadership role. So they could be the admin support, they could be your secretary, and just trying to give them that leadership experience. So do not hesitate in appointing one of your students to be there. Or you can also you don't have to be an officer to come to the meeting. You can send a student or any other member that's interested in representing your chapter. You can certainly do that. There are a lot of things that I know as an officer, you're doing so many things. And if you feel like you want to take a break 1 year and you want to send somebody else, please do so. They have to be an active member affiliated with your chapter, and that is all we care. And some of your students may present at the annual meeting on the Student Research Conference. They can act as your chapter delegate as well. So just keep all those in mind. And we'll be we are 1 minute ahead of our time. But I would like to thank everybody. Like Stacia said, you're very busy. I know you're busy. We are here to help you. So please, yes, Dr. Finkel, how can I help you?
I know the reports are due at the end of August, and the trouble with the Argonne National Lab chapter, of which I'm a president, is that I can't find a lot of people who want to get involved. And one of the people who was going to try some new techniques to increase our membership got involved in a big project upgrading one of our facilities. So he really hasn't had time to do anything this year. I'm going to try to schedule a meeting with them, but I don't know if we can get our report done by Friday. So we might have to schedule a meeting on next week and finish whatever report we have, but we haven't made any progress, and I've tried a number of things, and I guess I have to try sending some more mail to the active membership and see if I can get anything done.
Sure.
It's
What we
been
can,
a long
yeah.
time since I've actually gotten a group of people to get involved. Two of the people who were involved in previous years got involved in other things and have dropped out. So it's basically three of us trying to work together, and without any help, we're not getting very far.
No, I remember you calling last year, and I'm so happy to hear Argonne Lab is going to go back. We would love to help you. And I know you had sent one of your representative at the annual meeting last year. So I do remember them coming to the DC meeting. So thank you for sending that and making that happen. You do know, as a area chapter and a lab, you're not required to have new members. You can request the waiver for that, and we'll provided you've done everything else, we will release the support for you. So we'll talk more offline, but I'm so happy that Argonne Lab is coming back, and please let us know if we can be of any help. We can send you a list of area members that are residing in that area that could also help you,
Okay.
not just those that work for the lab. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably send you an email.
Yes, please. Yeah. But thank you very much. I know that there were people that had to go, so thank you, everybody. And we will continue these chats every so often with important topics. But if you need more than what we are presenting, please let us know. An email from you will really help us. But thank you very much, and you have a great afternoon and great week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.